Alright, another day, another entry into the Goodwill outlet bins. Let's see if I find anything today. Alright, so I'm here at the bins. Let's take a look. Found a few interesting little things. Here's a monitor that's an Asus monitor that's in 1080 LED. I'm curious what it'll cost, how much it weighs. Maybe $6, $7. That might be worth getting. Some little canvas watercolor boards. Here's my most interesting thing. Check this out. I just grabbed the backpack, and I'll kind of go through these things later. So inside of this backpack is Narcan. I don't know if this stuff expires or whatever, but it's probably not a bad idea to have around some Narcan, you know, in case something happens to somebody. And I recognize these. These are EpiPens. They're really good for allergic reactions and stuff. They're quite expensive too, like about $100 a piece. I don't know how much. I don't think you could resell any of this stuff, but if you have no other alternative, probably useful. I have some at my house because you never know if you get stung by a whole bunch of bees or something. You have an allergic reaction. That stuff can save your life. So those two things probably are worth getting, even if they're a little bit old. They're better than nothing if the need arises, I think. So here's something you only see in New Orleans at the Goodwills. Is tons and tons of Mardi Gras beads. They just all end up here after Mardi Gras. Nobody really cares about them. Here's something I really could use. It's a shut-off box, but the pull-out thing is missing. It's unfortunate. But that's something I could actually use for my building project. I don't know if you can get just the pull-out thing that goes there, though. Alright, I am once again at the bins. This is kind of a regular weekly, semi-weekly thing I'll do. Just get away from the computer and my other work. Sometimes when I got a little bit of time, I'll come over here. What have I got this time? Well, there's a bag of dice. I don't know what I want to do with that. I might just put it back. Nice little brand new waterproof backpack. A bunch more CDs. I keep getting the CDs and the DVDs. I still don't know what I'm going to do with all of these DVDs, but I'm going to try to figure something out. I've calculated that if I pull them out of the boxes, they're about 4 cents a piece. So if I can sell them anywhere from 25 to 50 cents a piece in maybe organized bundles, like all horror movies, all sci-fi, maybe I'll be able to get some money back. I'll have to find out. But there's, you know, I don't know, there's not a lot to do here, so, or at least there's a lot of idle time, so this is at least something I can do. Another cookbook. This one's signed by the author. People don't look for that, but it's signed by Chef Paul Prudhomme. He passed away many years ago, and so that's kind of cool. Here's another obscure cookbook from a church in Trinfuncta, Madisonville, Louisiana. I think these kind of cookbooks are the ones where you can really find like old school recipes. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it's pretty neat. Here's a nice little science of cooking, kind of an interesting book. I like anything that's really interesting. Of course, a puppet, because why not? I've been collecting puppets. I don't know what I'm going to do with them at some point. Let's see, I got a nice little Vans hat. It's kind of cool. Nothing special. But we'll see. What I really want to do is I want to see a little bit behind the scenes, you know. You can sneak up here and you can look through the glass and you can see all the stuff they're moving around. Look at the stuff that's getting ready to go out. There's a lot more hard lines. I would love to be able to get a tour back there and see how they do all the sorting and what happens with all of the stuff. See, there's a big machine right there. I don't know if they're just crunching it up, compacting it into big bales that they will then sell or whatever. But, lights are going on. Are they going to crunch it up? Or they're just dumping it? So maybe those are bins that they just transport stuff in. I don't know, but interesting to see the whole process there. Back at my little flea market here near the river. Look at this. This is $28. It's a shallow fish fry. Do not. Has no markings except for a number 3052 on it. Do not know. Is that a BSR? I don't know. Modern. Nice day. Saw a sign that said estate sale. Look at this cute little cast iron thing I picked up for $1. I don't know if it's worth anything, but for $1, we'll see if it'll clean up. See. All right. Obviously, I did pick this thing up from the flea market. 28 bucks. It was a little bit over $31 with tax. I wasn't going to haggle on this because I knew it was new. I checked this place at least every week or two, so I knew they just got it in, and I figured if I tried to haggle on something they just got in, they weren't going to budge much on it. So, while I was there, I Googled the number 3052, and it came up as a BSR, which is what I thought it was. So, for $32, this is probably a good deal. These are listed for sale in the $200 to $300 range. I think it'll clean up nicely. I'm pretty sure this has nothing to do with it. Somebody just made in Taiwan. Although that might have turned off some people who were looked at this and thought the whole thing was made in Taiwan because there's a little made in Taiwan thing on it. But this did not come from Taiwan. This came from Birmingham, Alabama, probably sometime in the 1940s to the 1970s. And this should be a nice piece to clean up. This is called a shallow fish fryer. There's a deeper one too. These were designed to sit on top of the Sportsman grills that BSR made, that Lodge made later. They fit perfectly onto them. They're very popular. There's even a lid for this, believe it or not. So I will take this and I will clean it up, and I'll probably throw it in my booth. I don't have a Sportsman grill. If I did, I probably would keep it. Watch me find a Sportsman grill as soon as I sell this. My luck. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying the video series and supporting me thus far by subscribing and clicking like and all of that. And if you want to catch me on TikTok, sometimes I have previews of what I'm working on that I haven't published lately. That's at TikTok/@WisdomStudio. And if you're on Facebook, look up the group Vintage Cast Iron Hunting, Restoration, Identification, and Sales. And until next time.